Hello my friends, Boomy here once again with another video for you, my Swtor brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today in a galaxy far, far, far away? If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for all your Swtor fun news, guides, and updates right here, right now. My friends, if you are a fan of Secrets of the Enclave 6.3, The Dark Descent, the new Flashpoint Secrets of the Enclave, we get to play around with Malgi-Poo. They're kind of setting up for whatever they have going on in the future. And yeah, if you're fans of that, we have some more insider information. Now, if you watched my video on Secrets of the Enclave, the behind the scenes, this is a part 2 of the behind the scenes. So let's take a look and see what they have to say with this one. Yeah, this one's with a brand new writer, Caitlin Sullivan Kelly, who's been with BioWare for quite a while. And yeah, she's got some insights here, and well, let's just take a look. They say behind the scenes of Secrets of the Enclave Flashpoint Part 2 of the story. With Games Update 6.3, The Dark Descent, players pursue Darth Malgi-Poo through the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine in the Secrets of the Enclave Flashpoint. In a previous interview with world designer Allison Berryman, we discussed the gameplay design of this new Flashpoint. This time, we sat down with one of our writers, Caitlin Sullivan Kelly, to discuss the writing. Sounds like someone who would write Broadway, just saying. To discuss the writing process for the story of Secrets of the Enclave and the introduction of the Jedi Enclave into Star Wars: The Old Republic. Hello, Caitlin. As mentioned above, you're part of the Swtor writing team. Can you tell us a little about yourself? Caitlin replies, hello, everyone. My name is Caitlin Sullivan Kelly, and I'm a game writer on Star Wars: The Old Republic. I've been with BioWare Austin for 7 years, and I started on the Swtor team as a quality analyst, focusing on the Forged Alliances arc, wow, and Shadow of Revan expansions, world, and quest design. Can I say, I kind of miss Shadow of Revan, just saying I do, mainly because I miss Darth Mar, because I love Darth Mar. They continue, I later became a narrative specialist, someone who ensures the story's quality by providing feedback to the narrative teams for several different BioWare projects. This was my main responsibility for many years before I moved into my current position. And like many others on our awesome team, I love absolute everything about Star Wars universe. I'm pretty sure they have to say that, but I believe her 100%, but I'm pretty sure, you know, it's like, yeah, I work for Star Wars, but man, I love me Star Trek. Just saying. I mean, I'm one of those people, but whatever. BioWare asks, what are some of the story pieces you've contributed for Swtor? Has your writing process changed over time? She responds, one of my favorite contributions is the codex entry for the Ashad on Andron, and yes, I consider codex entries to be stories. Caitlin, I agree 100%. She continues, I was tasked with creating a backstory for the Mandalorians that Shea Vizsla once eliminated. So I wrote one in the form of a journal entry written by a character I created, Merleri Loke. Little did I know that the Ashad would become such an important part of our current Mandalorian story. The first event I wrote was the All Worlds Ultimate Swoop Rally. I wrote the main introductory mission, the Swoop Gang story arcs, and all the characters minus Rauzok and the Pit Screamers arc. That was the incomparable Allison Berryman. I don't think my writing process has changed too much over time, but I've definitely noticed a consistent trend. My writing style tends to be very character focused. I want to know what every character wants. I want to know what they do, why they do the things they do. I want every character to have a past, right down to the unimportant NPC that you may not even notice lurking in the background. Hey, I have to say on a sidebar, I like that. I love it. I mean, we all have our head canon on what these NPCs are doing, what these characters are doing, especially one in the far back that no one ever interacts with. Like the guy on Rishi, he's sitting on the beach. I would love to know what he's thinking. Just saying. Caitlin, get back to me. What is that man on Rishi Beach? What are they thinking? I really want to know. I think that the method of storytelling offers an interesting perspective, she continues. Events that feature a big bad like Darth Malgi-Poo is a mystical space like a Jedi Enclave might seem like they're the only incidents that could shake the foundation of an entire galaxy. But when you focus on the characters, you easily see how a rogue group of Mandos or a rowdy gang of swoop bikers are just as important when you're trying to build a living, breathing, interesting world. BioWare asks, you wrote the short story Quite a Story to Tell, which if you're not familiar with that, I gave my own interpretation of it on the channel. They continue, what are the biggest differences between writing a short story and writing a story for a Flashpoint? She answers, the short story has the advantage of a reader's imagination. As long as they give you the basics of where a character is standing, what they're wearing, and what they're saying, your mind is going to get to work and is going to show you something amazing. It's also a lot easier to really dig into the details of what characters are thinking and feeling, and that's something that isn't quite so easy to explore in the context of a video game. And there are many other video game aspects, quote-unquote, you need to consider when writing a Flashpoint that don't come up while creating a short story. For example, I didn't want the visuals of the Flashpoint's environment to feel repetitive, so I came up with reasons why the player would need to move through areas around the Enclave and not just certain parts of the interior. At the same time, I had to consider the workload of the environment art and cinematic teams, who are all rock stars. The same can be said for gameplay, another team of rock stars. I didn't want players to only be fighting soldiers from the opposite faction, so I came up with other types of enemies, like the big growl boss. That one was actually cool. I did not expect that one. I was very impressed. For the players to engage with. The overarching context that Flashpoint fits into also needed a lot of consideration. Since this Flashpoint connects past events with future Swtor narratives, I consulted with the Lucasfilm Story Group, that's pretty awesome, who were integral in helping us refine the details of Malgus' long-term plans. Please make Swtor canon. I would love to see a Malgus movie, just saying. About the plots of major beats and the finer points. When it comes to dialogue, writing a short story is a lot less involved. You have a plot that your characters move through, and your characters behave a certain way as that plot advances. But in a Flashpoint, there's a lot more to account for, like choices the player can make along the way, choices the player has made in the past, opportunities that allow players to react and speak in ways they feel suits in the character they built, and ways for non-player characters to help advance the narrative that are interesting and engaging. The workflow and pipeline for both projects are hugely different as well. When I had the idea for Quite a Story to Tell, I wrote the story in a few evenings, incorporated feedback from the writing team and from Lucasfilm, then sent it off for publication. Taking my vision for Secrets of the Enclave and making the Flashpoint a reality took a whole lot of communication, collaboration, and hard work from the entire team of amazing creative people. BioWare asks, being completely amazed by all this, in this Flashpoint, players are joined by different companions based on their faction. Aaron Leaner and Aaron Perlone for Republic players, and Darth Rivix and Darth Krovos for Empire players. Why did he choose these companions for the story? Because we needed more than 10 minutes of Rivix, just saying. Can I also say that man is way too cleanly shaven? He needs something. Like, I just can't with his face. I just can't. Something needs to be put on it. Use your imagination. On the Republic side, I felt Aaron Leaner was a super obvious choice right from the start. Even before I really knew what I wanted the inner workings of the Flashpoint story to look like, I knew she had to be involved. I had read Deceived by Paul S. Kemp, which, by the way, great book, after we first introduced Aaron in Swtor, and I desperately wanted to continue exploring his headstrong Jedi Knight and the conflict, because reading so hard, between these two extremely powerful in their own ways Force users, especially after we set the stage at the end of Pinnacles of Power for the two to cross paths again. Like Aaron Lanier, that is. Darth Rivix is a newer character in Swtor who's intrigued me ever since his introduction. He's so charming and helpful, but what is he really after? Dong, dong, dong. Facial hair. Does he truly just want to help me succeed? Will he stab me in the back? There's so much fantastic storytelling potential with Rivix that I want to get him out of the Odessen base and give players time to see what he's all about, and as well as the opportunity to see him in action. After discussing my initial ideas with Charles, we decided that we wanted to mirror Aaron Lanier's involvement on the Imperial side and include a character with some kind of connection with Darth Malgus. Rivix didn't quite fit the bill, so we decided to include Darth Krovos, another character that I thought players would enjoy spending some time with out in the field. Since I wrote Darth Rivix to be short of a tour guide through the Enclave ruins, we needed someone to fill the role of the Republic side. Aaron Perlin. I've heard this name a million times and I just can't pronounce it. Has worked closely with one of the most knowledgeable Jedi of all time, Master Nostral. And Arn has also shown a talent for having encyclopedic knowledge himself. Oh, Arn, dude, that's a robotic guy who looks like the guy from Nickelback. Gotcha. He was very informed about Onderon when he introduced him to Onslaught. Pair all that up with the fact that Arn is working his way toward becoming a full-fledged Jedi Knight, and he was the perfect candidate for the Second Republic companion. Well, I'll have to say, it was refreshing to see Arn not with the other person, who I will say, personally, in my opinion, horrible story writing on that one. Bad character building, in my opinion. You might like that character. I, for one, want nothing to do with it. I think there's a lot of potential in that character. But Tao is her name. I think there's a lot of potential there, but I just didn't get it. I just didn't like it. Not a fan. Nope, not a fan. I felt like it was a bit pushy. I'm going to shut up. We're going to continue. It's been 2 years since the release of Dantooine as a planet in Swtor. Back then, did the team want to visit the Jedi Enclave? Did they? Absolutely. I definitely remember a design conversation where we discussed not wanting to take the player to Dantooine without including a reference to the old Enclave, because it's KOTOR, you have to. Ultimately, we knew that if we were going to introduce such a major landmark in Swtor, the motivation for sending the player into the actual ruins needed to be something with more of a narrative connection than a pirate invasion. I agree. So we waited for a more appropriate moment. When Charles wrote the excellent epilogues to our Pinnacles of Power update and showed Malgus heading to Dantooine, we knew we'd found the perfect reason to get players into the old Enclave. A force to be reckoned with like Darth Malgus is definitely something that would motivate you to get to Dantooine as soon as possible and explore every dark corner of the ruins. BioWare concludes, do you have anything else you would like to add? I want to say thank you to our amazing community for the incredible kind words about what I put out there so far. And it's true, I have been on the forums and she has responded, and people, and I also will say, it was a great short story. They need to do more like that. It needs to be a movie. I kind of wish it were cutscenes. Just saying, I really liked it. Great job. She continues, and I truly appreciate the time you all take to discuss these stories in such detail. Creating a story for something as expansive and meaningful as Swtor comes with a special set of challenges. But when you're writing stories for such a substantial universe, when you're designing content that will live out alongside the adventurers that hold a special place in your heart and were so integral in your formative years, the bar is set especially high. The expectation I always set for myself when I'm writing is to craft an experience that any Swtor player, including herself, will enjoy, and to include anything recognizable that players can relate to and connect with. I love when players share their thoughts about what I've written and describe how their experiences with my content affected them. It makes me immeasurably happy that for many fellow Swtor players, I am able to meet those expectations. And they say, thank you for chatting with us, Caitlin. As a reminder, the Secrets of the Enclave, Flashpoint, blah, blah, blah is available. 6.3 is here. Go and play it. So there you have it, my dear friends. We have the behind the scenes of Secrets of the Enclave, Part 2 with Caitlin there. I think the short story was amazing. I liked it. I loved it, like I just said. And I think, she's doing a great job over there at BioWare. There are some great developers over there at BioWare. A lot of them behind the scenes, like Caitlin and others that we just never hear about. And I'm glad we get to see blog posts like this from people that normally are not in the limelight, like Eric Musco, Charles, Keith, those three, Jackie, Dan, but I'm glad we get to see other people that we normally don't get to see, and I love seeing what who the people are who come up with the great stories that we experience in this great game. That is something I really love. And I want them to do more blog posts. I want them to be more consistent in these blog posts. I'm a big sucker for behind-the-scenes stuff, and I would just love for them to have actual sit-down video camera interviews with the devs. I think that would be great. I think that would be a great idea. BioWare, I know you're watching this, so go ahead, get her done. Just saying. Well, my friends, make sure you hit that like button. The more likes we get, the more the algorithm likes us, and it truly does put us to the front of the class, that is for sure. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become part of the family here at Boomynation, the freak show of YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community, and don't forget to spay and neuter your Wookiees. And we'll see you later, my friends. Good day.